Is that a breakup?
I think we have a situation right here.
On the Feeling Station.
Hello?
Yo, what's happening?
I'm fine. How are you?
Do you know, the phone barely rang. It was like one ring and boff, you've got the phone picked up. What is that all about?
Well, I had it in my hand.
I guess you're fine and ready, huh?
Yeah, I'm okay. I got a little bit of a hangover, but hey.
Oh, yeah, what happened at the week? Well, you started the weekend early. What happened last night?
My friends had a bonfire.
Mm-hmm.
So we did that, but I think the issue is, which I know what the issue is I don't eat late.
Okay.
And if I don't eat,
Yep.
which,
Yep.
I get sick. And since I've been on this like this diet, I don't eat and I don't eat enough, and it fucks me up. It fucks me every time.
The drink just goes straight to your head after that point, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm. Welcome to the Feeling Station.
Hey.
Yeah, I've been waiting a little while for this. I'm obviously very, very excited about doing this episode with you, and I just wanted to start by saying thank you for giving me the opportunity to do so.
Well, thank you. When I actually heard about your podcast, I was kind of thinking before that I would probably want to do it.
Oh yeah.
But I was kind of giving myself, time.
So all you needed was just a little gentle nudge to say, "Hey, why
Right.
don't you come on and do this?" Right?
Right. And get over
Awesome.
with.
Well, for those who are listening to this podcast for the first time, it touches on breakup stories that people would like to talk about, with the view to give you, the listener, an opportunity to learn a lesson from the story that's going to be shared. And what's great about this podcast is, one, we do our best to keep you anonymous, which leads me to the exciting part where I give you the name I'm going to use to refer to you during the course of this episode, right?
Okay. Yes.
So the name comes from West Africa, a country called Togo. You might want a pen and paper for this, right? The name is Isoke, which is Isoke.
It's okay.
Yep, Isoke. And that means gift from God.
Oh.
Yeah, pretty cool, huh?
Yeah.
So who was the gift from God, you or your ex?
You're asking me?
Yep.
Of course, me.
It's one of those rhetoric questions, isn't it, where the answer is quite obvious. Who's going to say they were the gift from God?
Right.
Now, here's
Me.
the fun part. What name are you going to give your ex?
I'm thinking I don't know.
Put you on the spot, huh?
Jack.
Jack.
Yes.
Okay, why Jack? That is...
I've always liked that name.
Yeah?
I don't,
Okay.
it's a funny name, and it's
Yeah.
a cool name. Jack.
I don't even know what Jack means. Do you know what Jack means?
Like Jack and Jill.
Went up the hill.
Right. That's about it. I don't know.
Cool. So this episode is about Isoke and Jack.
Okay.
All right. Now, one of the great things about this podcast is that every breakup story that's spoken about is got some lessons for listeners to learn from.
Mm-hmm.
So, with regards to the breakup story you're going to share today, what lesson or lessons would you like people to learn?
I don't know. I mean, I really have no idea.
Really?
I just to survive, and that you can make it, and that everything will be okay,
Yeah.
and also kind of like fix yourself
Okay.
as well. Because we're not perfect.
So when you say fix yourself, is this from your point of view or from the point of view of the person you're going to talk about? Who needed to fix themselves in your situation?
I think we both did.
Pretty cool. So I've got two lessons here. The first one is, be strong, right? All you need to do is survive. And then the second lesson is fix yourself.
Yes.
And this refers to both you and the person that you're going to talk about today, Jack.
right.
Right. So let's get straight into it. How did you and Jack connect? What did you guys like about each other?
Ugh. Actually, I didn't like anything about him.
Okay.
I actually met him in the midst of me being engaged to someone else.
Whoa. Hold up. So you met Jack in the middle of you being engaged to someone else.
Yes.
How does that happen?
Well, I moved to the state I live in now from somewhere else.
Mm-hmm.
I was engaged.
Uh-huh.
I was engaged to a person for 4 or 5 years, but we're long distance the whole time. So when I finally moved down here, I realized that he wasn't shit. So I was like, I don't really like this guy. So when I was working at this place,
Yeah.
I met Jack.
Uh-huh.
And Jack was just really he was really nice. He kind of caught me at a time where I was kind of really lonely.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't happy in my relationship.
Mm-hmm.
He was saying all the right things.
What sort of
So,
things was he saying to you?
Honestly, I don't remember.
Mm.
At the time, it made
Mhm.
sense, but now I'm kind of like, he probably wasn't saying shit.
Yeah.
He was just nice. It was nice to talk to somebody.
Mm-hmm.
Again, I was really not talking to my fiance. I
Yeah.
hated his guts,
Yeah.
and this guy was he was funny at work.
Yeah.
He was nothing about him I liked though. He wasn't attractive to me physically.
Mm-hmm.
But
It almost feels like he was one of those people that came in at the right time when you were just at your
Yep.
lowest point, and he was convenient.
yep, because I even remember telling my friend,
Mm-hmm.
this short nigga trying to holler at me. I don't want to talk to him. and she was cracking up, and I'm like, and then
Yeah.
ugh, that's how
Okay.
it started.
Okay. So Jack came into the picture when you were in the process of leaving your engagement, I guess.
Yes,
It feels like at some point you said to the guy who you're engaged to, "Look, peace, this is not happening," and then you and Jack
Right.
became an item. Is that correct?
yes, exactly.
Okay. Now it's kind of strange that you would then get into a relationship with somebody who you didn't like anything about. What drove you then to say yes to him, or did he even ask you to be his girlfriend? What happened?
I kind of we just kind of like started dating,
Mm-hmm.
and then when I moved out from my ex's house,
Mm-hmm.
he took his ring back, and we started hanging out, and then
Mhm.
after hanging out for a while, we just started, I guess, going together. I'm not even sure if he ever really asked. It kind of like
Yeah.
made sense.
Well, let's talk about this hanging out bit. Were you guys friends with benefits by any chance?
Yes,
Okay.
definitely.
So it started off as you guys just kicking it, friends with benefits, and then it mellowed into a relationship of a sort.
Right.
Okay. From your opinion, who do you feel loved the other the most? Did you love him more than he loved you? Did he love you more
In the
than he loved
beginning, I loved him more. At the end, he loved me more.
you? Ooh. Okay. Right. Let's
Power
yeah,
exchange.
yeah. The relationships tend to take that form
hmm
over time. And I remember some friends of mine saying to me, "Oh yeah, only love somebody who loves you more than you love them."
hmm
But if this power shift changes, then that statement can't really hold water, because if they
Right.
love you more than you love them at one point, you might end up loving them more than. Okay, I'm confusing myself. Forget that.
We get it.
But you get what I'm trying to say, right?
Yes.
So
Yes.
okay, so you guys then become an item. You at some point you become boyfriend and girlfriend.
hmm
One of the things I would have been keen on was understanding what made you tick and why you guys liked each other so much. But you already told me you liked nothing about this guy.
Mm-mm.
So now the question that comes to mind is, how long were you guys together then?
Are we counting like breaks?
Yeah, the whole time, the whole
Okay.
period.
Let me see. Yeah, 14 years.
You were together for 14 years with somebody who you don't know what you liked about them.
Right.
That's a long time.
Right. But we had breaks.
So, okay, are you sure you don't know what you liked about this guy or what you didn't like about him? Because 14 years of not knowing what you like about someone is a damn long time.
I think at the beginning,
Yeah.
we were friends. Like we hung out. He made me laugh.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, when I sit here and think,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why I was with him that long. Maybe it was because we had kids.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we had kids. I was afraid of being alone
Mm-hmm.
because we didn't get along. Like we didn't get along. We didn't, have anything in common.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't like the same things.
Did you guys get married at some point?
Yes, we did.
Whoa. Right. It's okay. This is for me, this is kind of screwing with my mind a little bit.
Mine too.
Because I'm trying to imagine myself. Okay, I can hang out with someone, right? Oh yeah, we're good friends, and then maybe there's some chemistry. We fool around, but I still feel that I don't like them enough. I wouldn't go ahead and marry them.
Can I tell you why I got married?
Yeah, please.
Okay, well, I was working at a job. I had several degrees, and this job wasn't promoting me. So I wasn't really happy with my relationship. So I was gonna quit my job. and move back home to where I'm from.
Mm-hmm.
So I quit my job and was gonna move back home with our 2 kids. And he was like, "Well," he kept on saying, "Well, if you stay, I'll marry you." And I was like, "Nigga, I ain't about to just stay around just to be marrying you. I don't even care like that."
Yeah.
So finally, I had talked to my mom,
Mm-hmm.
and everybody wants to make their mother proud.
Yeah.
So I told her, "Mom," I said, "Hey, he wants to marry me if I stay." And she was like, "Well, I really want you to settle down." I was like, "Cool, I'll get married." I mean, the worst thing that can happen is I'll get divorced.
Just like that.
So, just like that.
So your
Just like
decision
that.
to get married was based on your conversation with your mom.
That, and also because all my friends were married and I wanted to be married. I wanted to be married. All my friends were married. I felt like that'll make me whole. I'll get married. Why not?
Okay, this doesn't sound to me like this decision to get married was really from the heart. As
It wasn't.
It wasn't. Yeah, that's interesting because the episode that just came out, it kind of touched on this. The girl in there was with the guy for 16 years, and all she really wanted to do was get married because that's what her family and friends expected her to do. So she just
Right.
did it. She
It
hung
was
in there the whole
time.
time, and it was tough for her. So I think I kind of get why eventually you'd have left because you didn't get into the marriage for the right reason in the first place.
Right.
Okay.
We didn't start off on the right foundation because I actually got pregnant after a month of being with him. So we started off jacked up
Wow.
from the beginning. You see
Okay.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We had a rocky foundation. We didn't know each other.
Okay. Now, did this happen because you guys were having unprotected sex, or there was some other accident?
I was unprotected.
Okay, right. So I'm just making this clear in my head. You meet this guy at work, you fool around, you guys become friends with benefits, you have unprotected sex, and then bam, your first child comes.
My second.
Second. Okay, so where did number one come from?
I brought her down with me. The guy I was engaged to.
Oh, right. Okay. So your second is from the guy that you engaged to. Cool.
The first was from the guy I was engaged to.
Yes.
The last 2 are from the guy I was married to.
Okay. So how did the conversation go when you found out you were pregnant? Was he excited?
How about this? We so damn smart. It was on purpose.
Huh?
Yeah, it was on purpose. He said, "All my friends have kids. I want a kid." I'm like, "Okay, whatever."
And that was it.
My smart ass. I just let it happen. I'm a genius.
Oh my goodness! This is nuts.
Embarrassing. I know.
Okay. I mean, children are great. They're blessings, they're gifts, and
Sorry.
Okay, what does that mean?
When I do a raspberry, that's
Yeah.
me. That's my emotions
Yeah.
coming out.
Mm.
Sorry.
I won't dig into that too deep. But what I'm now interested in. So, what started going wrong with you and Jack?
Well,
And at what
realized he
point
was a
did-
liar.
Yeah, and I mean, and at what point did things start going wrong?
Well, I started dating him in August.
Mm-hmm.
By October, he moved in with me.
Mm-hmm.
And then I realized he was just started not hanging out with me as much, hang out with his friends, quote unquote. Not really talking to me as much.
Mhm.
But at this point, I'm three months pregnant.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then throughout the pregnancy, he started cheating. I even remember the day I found out my grandmother died. He took a girl to the movies
Oh.
after he knew that she died, and I was very upset. I only found out because I found the movie ticket stub with the date on there. So yeah, so he was cheating early on while I was pregnant,
Yeah.
and I had no family where I was living, no friends for real. So it sucked hella bad.
That must have been really, really difficult for you because losing such a close member of your family is a real low point. And,
Yes.
and bear in mind you're pregnant, so you're dealing with emotions that come with pregnancy as well.
Yep,
And
and a 5-year-old child.
and you found out about this girl via the cinema tickets. You saw that there were 2
Yes.
tickets. So you obviously asked him, where are you and what are you doing? And what did he
Well,
say?
this came out actually months later.
Oh, okay.
Because actually, I'm sorry. Let me tell you what happened. No, let me go back.
Mhm.
the day my grandma died, I had went to work and he wasn't home. I'm like, where the hell is he at? He comes home, sits on the couch and says, "Hey, I think we need to break up. I'm moving out." That's what happened. And then
Oh
months later, I find out about the ticket. So yeah, the day my grandma died and I'm pregnant with their kid, yeah, he breaks up with me.
my goodness,
Yay.
this guy was a bit soulless, wasn't he?
Very much so.
Yeah. Okay, so you found out that he was cheating. You had an opportunity to leave at that time. It doesn't sound like you did.
No,
Why did you stay?
because I was where I'm gonna go. I was in the middle of school, finishing my degree.
Yeah.
I had no money for real. At the time, he was the breadwinner. I loved him.
Did you just say you loved him?
Yeah, I loved him.
Okay.
Right.
I'm trying to marry your absence of things that were interesting about him with you being in love with him.
Right.
I'm failing to
I think I
understand.
was in love with how it was when we first met, like how we were friends. I was in love with that.
Okay, so you were in love with the idea of you guys,
Yes.
but not in love with him as an individual.
I don't think so.
Okay. Okay.
Then,
Yeah.
But then I think I did, or I thought I did at least.
Yeah. Okay, that makes more sense. Okay, so you stayed because you felt you were safe and secure with him during that time because you're pregnant and you didn't have. You said you didn't have money at the time.
Right.
Okay.
Right. I had nothing.
Right. So your beautiful child was born. And then, but what happened?
Maybe about a month or so after that, he finally moves out, and
Jeez, this
actually-
guy has a habit of leaving when it's critical. He left when your grandma died, and then he leaves a month after your baby is born.
he left. That was his trend. He left often throughout the 14 years.
And where would he go?
Move out and get his own place.
Okay. And then it sounds like he would come back. Why would he come back?
Why wouldn't they come back? Miss me and that kind of thing. Blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
That's what he says. So
Mm-hmm.
he probably left easily 5-6 times that I can think of.
Yeah.
Moving out and moving back in, that kind of thing.
Now, in between him coming in and out, he obviously had, well, I'm guessing some other people that he was interested in or having relationships with.
Yeah.
He was. Okay. Were you having the same? Or you were keeping
Yes.
yourself exclusively for him?
No. I would date others.
Okay.
But not often, because I'm not really a dater, so probably
Yeah.
in the midst of like him, maybe 2 or 3.
Mm-hmm. Did he ever find out about this 2 or 3?
Yes.
And what was his reaction to them?
To all you want okay. Let me think. The first one, he was not surprised because he was surprised because this guy was a friend of mine. So he thought we were just friends.
Mm-hmm.
The second one, he called me a side chick. The third one, he actually approached the guy at his
Whoa.
job
Whoa.
and at his house.
At his house?
Yeah, when I was there, yes.
Jeez, how did that go down? What happened?
He banged him on the door and he called the police.
That is crazy.
As hell.
He obviously felt something for you if you reacted that way.
I think it was a control thing. I don't think he felt anything.
You don't think he was jealous?
Oh, of course. Yeah, he was jealous, but he was cheating as well.
Now, I don't know whether you can have jealousy without emotion, affection, or possibly even love. Because if you don't care about something, you just don't get jealous about it because you just don't care, full stop. So it sounds like this guy had something in there for you. And maybe he just had difficulty either accepting it or expressing it.
Correct. Both. Probably both.
Now, did you try and make him bring that out? Did you try get him to love you the way he's supposed to?
Well, yes, I would ask.
Mm-hmm.
Like, for instance, he had an issue with, like, he never hung out with the family. There would be times that we would have, like, group meetups with, like, his friends.
Mm-hmm.
He wouldn't go. He was just not interested, really, even in the marriage, in doing anything together. He was not interested in doing anything that I like to do. He was not interested in moving the family forward in regards to financially or he was very complacent. He was very controlling. In regards to his way or the highway, it was just all about him and what he wanted.
Because you've had some time to look back and think about this. Why do you think he was that way?
He was set in his ways. I think he probably maybe saw his family, his dad do that,
Mm-hmm.
and that's what he thought was going to work.
Was he an only child?
No, he was one
No?
of 5. I'm an only child.
Rah. Okay. Well, at some point, you then eventually said, "Nah, this is it. This is not happening. You're not coming back through the store."
Correct.
What led to that happening?
Well, actually, during the course of our marriage, he left me twice. Okay. The first time he left, I was distraught. Even though I knew it wasn't working with us, even though I knew one of us was going to have to leave, I was still distraught because it was still my marriage. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So after like 3 months, I started talking to somebody else,
Mm-hmm.
and this person brought me to the place where I knew I was going to get back with my ex. It wasn't going to happen again. This person was a guy who I felt like was made for me.
Ooh. Okay.
So when I started talking to him, it was over. I wasn't gonna go back with my ex. But actually, the new guy was actually a friend of his friend. If it makes any sense.
Oh yes, it does. It does.
So they got really, really, really messy. But anyway, in the midst of my ex left me in May.
Uh-huh.
I let him move back in December because even though I really like this other guy, I was like, well, maybe I should make my marriage work. But I never stopped talking to the other guy.
Yeah.
So that's when stuff got real, real tricky.
Yeah. Tell me more about that. The tricky stuff that happened.
Again, this is a friend. This new guy knows my husband and the guy I'm dating.
Mm-hmm.
And I was cheating with him for about a year and a half.
Mm-hmm.
Year and a half. But it was to a point where me and my ex weren't even sleeping in the same room. We're kind of just like cohabitating.
Yeah.
I knew I really loved this other guy. I knew I hated my husband, but I was really kind of just waiting for his ass to leave. That's really where I was at. I don't really leave people. That's not my thing. So people always just leave me. So I think I was just waiting for him to leave. So finally he did. But when he left, he knew who the other guy was. So even though he left me and he was cheating on me through our marriage, he still made it very difficult for me and the other guy to really date.
Wow.
Like I said, he went up to the guy's job. He will.
He went to the guy. He went to the guy's job.
He went to the guy's job, and this guy is how can I put this? He's a law enforcement officer.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he went up to the guy and talked to him about me, even though he left me and he was living with me at the time.
Mm-hmm.
He still went up to the guy and made a big old scene.
That must have been really uncomfortable for you.
Yeah.
Knowing that he was doing that sort of thing.
It was a point to my life where I really thought I was gonna. I didn't want to kill myself. But I was sick of his ass. I wanted to go. Either I was gonna hurt him or I was gonna move back home because it made it very hard for me to live. Like he went to jail for like domestic. When I say domestic, he didn't hit me, but he was coming to my house and like banging on my door and stuff and calling me, leaving harassing voicemails. Again, he left me now. He left me, but he still was doing a lot to just make my life very, very difficult. He went to the point he even, we live in a house. He moved out, right?
Mm-hmm.
But all the bills are in his name.
Mm-hmm.
But he also knows how to turn the power and stuff off, like physically, which I don't know how to do. So one day he got so pissed at me that he went to the house that I was living in, and he turned off the water and the power.
So he still had access to your house even though he had left?
Yep, because it was his house. I can't do shit about it. He had a key, and he would go in there. And whenever he got pissed off at me, he'll just pop up and just fuck with me.
That must have been really scary for you.
I wasn't scared. I was pissed, and I was tired.
Yeah. One thing I don't get is that you made a comment, all right, that you don't really leave people.
I don't.
Yeah, you wait for them to leave you. It sounds like you had an opportunity to leave. Mm-hmm. Do you understand why you don't leave people? Do you know why?
I don't. I don't.
Hmm.
I don't. I think about it all the time. Like, I wonder why my best friend always tell me, you can't let people go. I
Yeah.
don't know what it is. I'm gotten better with it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's still hard. I don't know.
I think that's an important element because it explains how and why you were with this guy for so long. I think you said 14 years or so.
Hmm.
Because you'd have had opportunities to leave much, much, much sooner.
Correct.
Because one, you didn't find him attractive. You didn't really like him that way. At that point, you could have left. But because it's within you to stay, you stayed.
I don't know what it is. Maybe because I've been abandoned so much, I don't want to do it to someone else. I don't know.
Hmm. When you say you've been
Mhm.
abandoned so much, that's a loaded statement. And it's not something that I would normally delve into this because it would be a detraction from what the podcast is about, really. But I think all of that abandonment stuff you just mentioned in that one word has got a big part in you staying
Hmm.
because maybe you feel safe in that place.
Maybe.
And then the expectation then becomes for you to be abandoned because you've become so used to it.
Yep.
So you allow that sort of thing to happen.
Or I almost expect it. Like if I'm always expecting it.
Yeah.
Like it's gonna happen eventually.
So does that limit how much you give yourself in a
Mhm.
relationship?
Yes.
So have you ever been deeply in love with someone?
Yes. Honestly, I've only probably been in love once. I
Mhm.
don't think I was in love with my husband. Nah, I don't think so.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I've only been in love really once.
And that one time that you were in love, like deep, 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 were you left or you left?
I was left.
And do you understand? And was the reason why you were left justifiable?
He didn't tell me. He just ghosted me.
As in what? He just gone.
Stop responding to my text messages and everything else. After I was dating him for 5 years. This is the guy, who I was saying, I was dating in the midst of
Yeah.
the guy who I said my husband
Mm-hmm.
confronted.
Mm-hmm.
It was him.
Mm-hmm.
I was dating him messing with him for 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
I would talk to him every day. I say every day, every day.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, he just stopped texting me. No explanation, no reason why. Just stopped.
Right. One of your lessons, your second lesson, is fix yourself.
Hmm.
So from this experience you've had with your ex-husband,
Hmm.
something was broken somewhere.
Yep.
Do you understand what was broken within you?
I don't. I don't. I mean, I don't know what I need to work on. I think, for one, I need to probably work on establishing a good foundation
Mm.
when I start a relationship.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I think I need to be more vocal in what I want
Yeah.
from people, or what I expect, or what I desire from people, because I'm definitely a pleaser by nature.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know what else. I don't know.
Being a pleaser means that you put yourself second.
Yes, definitely.
You put the other person first.
Yes.
And again, this kind of feels like it ties into that whole abandonment thing, because if somebody puts you as a priority, then it's highly unlikely that they would abandon you.
You would think.
Yeah. So maybe you do this because you feel that you want to put yourself in a position that doesn't allow that sort of thing to happen. So you give 110% of yourself.
Correct.
Whoa, this is nuts. What normally happens is if somebody presents a lesson that I share on this podcast, it's because they've gone through that whole journey and they've found a way out of it. But it feels like for you, you still need to find this thing you need to do to fix yourself and
Right.
and make things right within you.
Mm-hmm.
So if I was to randomly ask you now, what top 3 things do you look for in a guy? Would you have an answer?
Yes.
Okay, what are those top 3 things you look for in a guy?
Oh, gosh. Financially,
Mm-hmm.
well off.
Mm-hmm.
Great sense of humor.
Yeah.
Great communicator.
Yeah. So it sounds like you do have an idea of what you would like the ideal guy to have.
Yes.
The question that I would pose then is, do you allow yourself to make that criteria come to life? Like now, right? What's your current situation? Are you with someone?
No.
Okay. So when guys approach you and they're talking to you and they're interested in you, are you saying to yourself, one, are you financially astute? Are you financially well off? Are you a great communicator? Do you have a good sense of humor? Are those things at the forefront of your mind, or you just go with the flow and hope that those things come to life?
Well, I don't actively date, so that never really happens where I'm going by the list. If I find that I'm interested in someone, which is
Mm-hmm.
rare,
Mm-hmm.
I don't. I mean, I kind of will know based off of our conversation. You know, is he making me laugh?
Mm-hmm.
Can I talk to him?
Mm-hmm.
Does he have a job?
Yeah.
That kind
Yeah.
of thing.
Yeah.
I think that kind of reveals itself when you're kind of talking to someone. But
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't really, like I say, I don't really date or put myself out there to date.
Why is that
So
though?
I think for one, I don't want to be hurt, and for two, I don't really find myself being attracted to too many people. For one, I'm demisexual anyway, so I'm not really like.
That's a big word for me. I got no clue what that is.
It means you're just. It means that you're not. You're only sexually attracted to somebody if you have a connection with them. Kind of, yeah. So I can see you a guy like a hot guy in the
Mm-hmm.
club or whatever. And
Mm-hmm.
that doesn't mean I want to have sex with him because I don't know anything about him.
So you need
So
to have some form of chemistry with someone before you get
yes,
to that point.
correct. So
Ah,
that's probably one reason why I don't really date. And for two, I'm shy, so I'm never gonna like hop in someone's DM or try to holler at somebody.
mm-hmm.
Um, so I mean, I don't really. It's not really part of my life.
Yeah. Do you do you want to be with someone?
Yes, of course. Yes.
Yeah.
It doesn't sound like it, but yes, I do.
I almost don't know how to navigate the situation.
Well, neither.
Yeah. I mean, but the great part is at least you have an idea of what you want in a guy, and it's not just a question of whether you're putting yourself in a position where that guy would bump into you, or
I don't. My
or
friend
would meet
tells
you.
me I don't. I don't put myself in a position to meet guys or meet people.
Yeah, and this is because you said you don't want to be hurt.
Right.
That's I mean, that's a rock and a hard place kind of scenario, right? So you want to be with someone, but at the same time you don't want to be hurt.
Right. I don't want to put myself out there.
Yeah. Wow. I really don't know what more to say.
Sad case, right?
Yeah. No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't call it a sad case. It's just a really, really different case and scenario. One I haven't come across, but I've spoken to you for a while, and I know you're a great person. I guess I'm just a little surprised that I didn't know the element you've just brought across now, which is that you don't put yourself out there, and it's because you don't want to get hurt, and probably because you don't want to feel abandoned by someone.
Correct.
But I'm convinced that there's always someone for someone on this planet. I mean, there's a whole 7 billion of us. So there is a guy out there who genuinely wants to treat you like a queen and a princess, and just like your name means, Isoke means gift from God. I strongly believe there's actually a gift from God out there for you. But that gift is just not going to waltz into your house. I don't think that's the way biology, chemistry, or nature work. Men by nature are hunters, in quotes. They go for something that they really want, but they only go for what they can see. So do you go out a lot?
I do, but I kind of hang around the same group. Is a group is like guys and girls.
Yeah.
And I really don't, because of issues in my past. I don't date anybody I'm friends with.
Mm-hmm.
So and if I'm hanging out, if I go out, I'm hanging out with them. So, and also with COVID, we don't really go out as much.
Oh
as we
yeah,
used to,
yeah. Jeez, I mean, COVID has made it literally impossible to, be in the same place, and we're still in intimate space with someone.
Right. So
what are you doing what are you doing for intimacy then? Because you're human and you obviously feel certain types of way. But what are you doing for intimacy?
Masturbate.
Okay.
But I don't use dildos though. I don't put anything in me. Nothing to be graphic, but That's not my thing.
Yeah. Okay, well, at least something there is being taken care of. From
Not really, you know, it is what it is.
from that aspect, but I almost feel like getting you connected with someone I know.
Really?
Yeah.
What's it called?
Yeah. I mean, it's not something I do on this podcast, but
is he in America?
Yeah. Great guy.
Why do you think that'll work?
Great guy. Well,
why?
Because he ticks all the things that you said important to you. He's well off financially, very well off, I think. He's got a great sense of humor. It's a bit dry, but yeah, it works.
Right. Oh. Okay.
It works, and he's a great communicator. Great communicator. And I'll tell you why he's had bad luck with love and relationships. Because he's a nice guy. And all the girls he's been with have basically said to him, look, you're too nice. And that's it. Is that going to be a problem for you or not?
I need a nice guy because I love an asshole.
You love an asshole.
and that's my problem. I love an asshole because
oh my God.
He's an asshole to everybody but me.
God.
But then eventually they're asshole to you too, you know. But
I don't know if that's gonna work then because he's just not an asshole. Full stop.
I'm saying I don't need that anymore.
You don't need that no more. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, no.
All right. Cool.
I want somebody nice to. Can somebody be nice to me, please?
Yeah. Okay. I'll give him a shout and find out. But what he's saying. and I just don't want to have to have you back here saying, nah, Tinto, that didn't work and we broke it off. Then I'll be like, darn it. What did I get wrong?
Do you know where is he?
He's based in Texas.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I don't know how far off that is from where you are.
It's far.
That's far. I mean, but you've done long distance before, 5 years. So it should be okay, I hope. Yeah? Cool. I'll give him a shout. But, thanks, Isoke, for sharing this with me. Just to go over the 2 lessons you had. One, the most important was be strong. And I think I can see why you would say that. And then your second one was fix yourself. It just feels to me like there's still quite a bit of work.
Yes, definitely.
To do. And, with time, some of these things manifest themselves. But the great part for me is that at least you know what you want in a guy. You've got 3 really strong criteria. It's not easy to find a combination of all 3 of them. But right. I know someone, and I'm going to try and see if I can get y'all connected and see how that turns out. If it doesn't turn out, please don't shoot the messenger, okay? I was just trying a thing or two. Well, you all have been listening to another episode of The Feeling Station. I'm your host, Tinto, and I look forward to catching you in the next episode. Peace.
Tell me what you're feeling.
Satis on Daru Raini and Chake Zain.
Tell me what you're feeling. Now that it's over.
Satis on Daru Raini and Chake Zain.
Let me talk about my feelings. Let me talk about my feelings, yeah.
Urudoi motoru noto kujiziru amai.
Kujiziru amai. Love is a fire.
Urudoi motoru noto kujiziru amai.